What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of the Sportorium podcast. We are joined by Rocco this week. He is taking Rupp's place. Rupp is at school right now, getting a nice education. We're proud of you, buddy.
Nice.
All right, so to get right into it, we're going to go over the yearly award finalists that have been released. So starting off with the Offensive Player of the Year, there's 4 finalists. Starting off with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, and who I think is going to win it, Justin Jefferson. I feel like you guys probably agree. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Jefferson's like the clear cut for this. This is basically just a non-quarterback like MVP. So I think that was Jefferson this year. So
yeah, Tyreek had a good year, but he kind of fell off towards the end a little bit. And Tua being out definitely didn't help his case there, but
he didn't get too many touchdowns either.
That is true. But I mean, like you said, it's pretty much the non-quarterback MVP. Mahomes and Jalen Hurts are definitely deserving of it, but I kind of like how they usually don't give it to a quarterback. And then finalists for the Defensive Player of the Year, Micah Parsons, Nick Bosa, and Chris Jones. I think it's pretty obvious Nick Bosa for everyone. I like to see Chris Jones getting some recognition, though. He's been an absolute terror in the middle.
Yeah, he's just been in like Aaron Donald's shadow like his whole career pretty much, just because.
Yep.
That is true.
Yeah. But he's been a beast.
Yeah, finally Aaron Donald does nothing this year, so Chris Jones gets to spread his wings and fly.
Bosa did amazing, though.
Yeah.
He really had a fantastic season.
18 and a half sacks.
Yep.
It's wild.
Yep, that's for sure. And he stayed healthy. That was a good thing.
Yeah, that is true. That's the main part of it.
Yep.
His brother could not do that.
Nope. His nose gets in the way too much.
That guy is an absolute beak. It is absolutely insane.
So true.
I'm kind of surprised. Well, not really surprised, but Hassan Reddick probably had a better year than Micah Parsons. But I feel like it's kind of harder because everybody on that team is absolutely amazing. There's like 4 or 5 guys that have over 10 sacks, which is like unheard of. And then really the Cowboys, like DeMarcus Lawrence is pretty good off the edge, but it's Micah Parsons is the guy there. So I guess that's why he's not getting the recognition. But Hassan Reddick had a great year. And then getting into Offensive Rookie of the Year. So you got Kenneth Walker, Garrett Wilson, and then I'm a little bit surprised, but I could kind of see it, Brock Purdy.
I don't know why, because if Brock Purdy's in that discussion, why isn't like Breece Hall?
That's a very good argument.
Actually, is true.
Because Brock Purdy played 7 weeks. How many did Breece Hall play?
7 or something like that?
Yeah.
It's around there.
That's a very good argument.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
I didn't think of that one,
Yeah,
but it's true. Either. It's more just like recency bias.
Exactly.
Which is a very clear and obvious thing.
It always is, but
yeah, this one's a little weird. Garrett Wilson, though, is
I think Garrett Wilson should win. I mean, he didn't have like a real quarterback all year.
And he still did amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, Olave, the same thing.
Yeah, I was just going to say Olave.
Yeah. His rack is crazy, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, he's great.
It was like the last play of the game. Like he made like 4 Miami guys, like, or it was either that game or Seattle. He made like 4 defenders like run into each other.
Yeah.
I remember one of his first plays was the first couple of weeks. It was just like some like 4-yard play, but he made like 6 guys miss, and everybody was like, "Why is he not on the field?"
Yeah,
that was the first week. It was like the second quarter, and they're like, "Where's Garrett Wilson?"
Yep.
Yeah,
they want to ease him in a little bit, but I mean, he became that offense. Him and Breece, obviously,
essentially. And then when Breece went down, it was pretty much the Garrett Wilson show.
Yep. Until Zach started, and then it was the can't throw a ball Zach Wilson show.
Yeah,
that was fun, enjoyable.
Oh, I bet. But yeah, Garrett Wilson, I think, is pretty much the clear-cut winner. If Brock Purdy wins this, it is so dumb. It is just quarterback bias, recency bias.
And playoffs don't count for it at all. So it's like, what's really your argument?
Exactly.
Yeah, like he is playing great. But, I mean, these guys have been – Kenneth Walker has been pretty much, like, carrying the running game for Seattle after Rashad Penny went down.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson is putting up great numbers with little, like, fish at quarterback. So
no, it's toasters at quarterback.
No matter what it is, you could look at lint on the ground. That's what he has throwing to him the ball.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right. And now getting into Defensive Rookie of the Year. This one is pretty clear cut. Sauce. But the other finalists are Aiden Hutchinson, Tariq Woolen.
I think Hutch would be number 2 in my opinion, but Sauce is a clear one. But are they really going to give both to Jets players, offensive and defensive. You actually think so?
I actually think so. I
don't
feel like
know.
it's just like so obvious that they
I
have
feel like
to.
Brock Purdy might win.
I'd
Just-
actually be mad.
I
would
think
be-
Purdy's gonna. I feel like he would win too.
What are the odds now? I haven't even seen them.
I haven't looked at them, but I know that
I'll check.
Garrett Wilson was the favorite for a while. I don't know what they look like now.
Yeah.
And then
knows?
Sauce has been the favorite since like
Week 2.
forever. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Tariq Woolen was really good in the beginning of the year. He didn't really put up as many numbers towards the end, but obviously he had
I don't know.
4 or 5 picks.
Yeah,
I think he
like,
might have been 5 or 6.
Yeah, he
maybe.
like
He was
led
up
the
there.
league in picks. But I don't know.
So,
I saw
yeah.
him against Brandon Ayuk in the playoffs, and he got burnt like so many times.
Yeah. Well, he definitely fell off a little bit at the end of the season, but he was still great.
Yeah, and Sauce has just been an elite shutdown, maybe the best corner in the league the whole year.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
We'll see.
And then going to Coach of the Year. So they released 5 finalists, but it's only 3 finalists. I don't know. I was a little confused with this. So the 3 finalists are Kyle Shanahan, Brian Dable, and Doug Peterson. And then I guess 4 and 5 were Nick Sirianni and Sean McDermott. But out of the 3 finalists, Shanahan, Dable, and Doug Peterson, this is the only one where I actually don't know who it's going to go to. And all of them are very deserving.
Yeah, I think Dable should win, in my opinion. There's basically like no talent on that offense except for Saquon.
Yeah, like literally nobody at receiver. And made Daniel Jones, who is a turnover machine, what do you have, 5 turnovers this year?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I have no
And
idea.
like the Jags, like they have a good team. They just had
And
a
they also
terrible
just spent
start
the
last
most
year.
guaranteed money
Yeah.
ever in
Yeah.
the offseason. So
But
like,
the-
yeah, it's impressive, but
The thing is about the Jags, though, yeah, they have a good team, but last year they had the number 1 pick or number 2.
number 1.
Exactly. So they weren't that good. They had decent pieces, but Peterson, I guess,
Yeah.
got the good playing out of them. I don't know.
Bringing guys like Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, they got ETN back. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely impressive. And then Shanahan leading his team to a 2 seed with a 3rd string quarterback is
I like Shanahan because the whole season he was playing with backups.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is he has a good team. He had
He
does.
a crappy quarterback. The other teams were just all crappy, and those coaches made him a good team. So
Mhm.
it's like, I don't know. I think it's between Dable and Peterson for sure.
Yeah, I think
just
it's
my opinion.
Dable's to lose because
Yeah.
he did. Out of those teams, it was probably the worst out of those 3 top teams, but like they should not have been close to playoffs,
Yeah, agreed.
and they won a playoff game.
Yeah.
So I would say that he is my pick, and I'm a little. I don't know why Sean McDermott is top 5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like kind of random. Because
Yeah, he didn't really do anything special.
it's like
Yep.
Andy Reid could have been there too. It's like
Yeah, probably because like you lose Tyreek Hill, you were a 1 seed. Why not Andy Reid? I guess that maybe they're taking into account like the DeMar Hamlin situation and like there were a bunch of injuries on the team. So I don't know. They definitely had to go through a lot of adversity, the Bills, but
I kind of like Zach Taylor over McDermott.
Zach Taylor's a great
Good.
coach. But
That's true.
they started off pretty slow, but then they've been on a tear recently.
Yeah, I mean, like good teams usually like the coaches don't win like that. It's like
Yeah,
teams
no.
that were like bad and then like they were.
How
good
many
that-
Coach of the Year awards does Andy Reid have?
He has
like-
one, I think.
Like 1, yeah, and he's been one of the best coaches in the league for
And
like 20
long
years.
Same with
time.
Belichick too.
And same with Belichick. I don't even know how many he has. He probably has 1 or 2. It usually never happens. I don't think Mike Tomlin has 1. And Mike Tomlin's
That's
been
crazy.
a great coach forever.
Yeah. He hasn't had a losing season still.
Yeah, which is wild because this team was terrible. They started like 3-7 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the extra game saved him.
Yeah.
That
for
is
real.
true. That is
Well,
true.
he went 500 a few times. I think 2 or 3 times.
Everyone under 500.
Exactly.
All right, and then getting into comeback player of the year. So finalists are Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, and Geno Smith. So I've said this a couple times. You've all said this. Saquon is coming back from 2 major injuries. Christian McCaffrey coming back from injuries. Geno Smith is coming back from just being bad at football.
Being on
I
the
don't-
bench. Yep.
I don't consider that a comeback. I think he's just playing better, and he got put into like, I mean, it wasn't the best situation, but it was a pretty good situation. Like, you can't come back from sucking. Coming back
Yeah.
from injury and doing crazy, okay, that's a comeback.
Yep,
So
I agree.
Yeah, I'd go with
And every
Saquon
year's-
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
I think
year,
definitely Saquon.
whoever wins like the award, it's usually from like, someone that had a major injury. Like Alex Smith won it.
Yeah.
With his leg. I remember Dak Prescott one year was when he had that bad injury. He was like a nominee. So I don't know. Like, yeah, Geno Smith, he had a great year, but he was always, the backup quarterback. It's not really a comeback.
I agree.
and Saquon and McCaffrey had crazy years.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I would
I'd
give
be
it to
fine with
Saquon.
either of them getting
Yeah,
it.
I'd give it to
I'd be fine with
Saquon.
either. I'd definitely give the edge to Saquon though, just because he pretty much carried his team to playoffs.
And it's
And-
been back-to-back years of injuries.
Yeah.
So,
McCaffrey was banged up for the past 2 years, but like he was still playing. Saquon was
Yeah.
almost out for 2 years.
Season-ending injuries.
He helped them win the playoff game. So, he was a big key, especially like he had to take a lot of the load of the Giants offense with, they had no wide receivers. So
That is true.
he had to take a lot of the load of the offense, and he did his job.
He did.
Yeah.
But either one of them winning that, I'd be fine. If it goes to Geno, I don't like it.
Yeah, agreed. I hate Geno.
All right, now getting into the big one, the MVP. So we got Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and a receiver, Justin Jefferson. I think my easy pick, Patrick Mahomes.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how anybody else could win it.
So Burrow had a great year, but I mean, it was just a good year. He didn't do anything special. Josh had a very similar year passing, was also very good on the ground. But I mean, the past couple of weeks with the turnovers and everything, people are freaking out. Jalen Hurts had a great year too, but he ended up missing those 2 games. So that was going to hurt him. And Justin Jefferson is a receiver. He's never getting an MVP.
No.
So
Yeah.
it's Mahomes. And Mahomes had a crazy year with a less supporting cast than last year. So
Yeah, I agree. Jalen Hurts, though, yeah, he missed 2 games, but he's played very well this year.
yes.
So, I mean, I still don't think he's going to get it over Mahomes, but never know. They might like
I
to
don't
switch it
know.
up.
He's also, I think he has the best team out of all of them. So that helps him.
He does have a very good team around him. I wish there was a
On
most
a-
improved player award.
It would definitely go to him.
It would go to him this year.
Actually, no, it would go to Geno.
Maybe it actually would go to Geno.
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying though.
There's always like one, like Josh Allen in 2020. He had was pretty good, solid, and then he came out and he was an MVP candidate.
Yep,
Like, I don't know. I feel like they should get some recognition for that
should.
rather than like comeback player of the year. Yeah. So most of those awards are pretty clear cut, but there could be some things that happen.
We're gonna be shocked by a few, I think.
I would assume so. The only one that's like a 100% lock is Nick Bosa. They stopped taking bets because like
I
they would
think
have just
the
lost
Sauce
money.
one's a lock too.
So yeah, Sauce one is pretty much a lock.
Yeah.
I mean,
Justin
Mahomes should be,
Jefferson.
but
Jefferson might be a lock too.
for offensive player of the year, yeah. But like coach of the year, I mean, even offensive rookie of the year, comeback player,
Comeback
that could go.
Yeah.
That could go a couple of ways. So there have been a couple hires recently, only 3 of them. Starting off with the big head coaching one, Frank Reich, just signed by the Panthers. I think that's a great hire. I understand why he was fired, but I mean, I wouldn't. They were in a tough spot, the Colts, but I like the hire for the Panthers, and it's awesome that he was the first ever quarterback, took the first ever snap for the Panthers. And now he's back head coaching.
Yeah.
Yep. That is
He's
crazy.
going from one dumpster team to another, so
True.
It's true.
he's in a rebuild either way.
Yeah. And I mean, the Colts might even be in a better spot just
I
because
think they are.
They
just
have-
need a quarterback.
yeah,
And,
like
like, they
they
could
they
be-
have a solid team.
If they get a quarterback, they could literally win that division.
Yeah.
Like they
It's
could
all
compete,
that's also the same with the Panthers though, because the division is also
That's true.
atrocious.
especially if Brady leaves.
Yeah. But they have the 9th pick. They could trade up. They could probably take a quarterback there. I'm not assuming one of them will get to them out of like Will Levis or Anthony Richardson. Or who knows? They could go and get Derek Carr.
No, He's going to the Jets anyway.
You're getting Aaron Rodgers, man.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
Exactly.
So get into the offensive coordinator hires. First, Bill O'Brien was signed by the Patriots. This one we saw coming for a very long time. Alabama fans are rejoicing because it was Bill O'Brien. But, I mean, he's going to be better than what they had. They had a defensive coordinator who is just a bad coach calling offensive plays. I don't understand what was going on there for a while, but at least they hired somebody now.
True.
Yeah, I think that will help their offense a lot.
I've said for a while that he's like not a bad coach. Terrible GM, but like an all right coach. Like when the Texans were good, he was the coach. He also traded away D-Hop and, all that nonsense. So that's why he's a bad GM. But
he has the same decision making as Zach Wilson, but
damn, that's low.
That's rough.
Speaking of the Jets, they go and get Nathaniel Hackett. Tyler, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's good. Unless we got somewhat of a offensive coordinator that can call plays, not like Mike LaFleur. Guy was atrocious.
See, I'm not so sure of that.
And I do not agree.
He had his good years in Green Bay.
But he wasn't calling
Aaron
plays in Green Bay.
Rodgers.
That's the whole thing. He had his best years in Green Bay as the offensive coordinator, but he wasn't calling plays. The only times he called plays were in Buffalo
and Jacksonville. His records were 6-10, 9-7, 10-6, and 5-11.
And all of those teams, especially the 10-6 Jags, that was a fantastic defense. All of those teams did not have a very good offense.
No, actually, I think that year the Jaguars offense was ranked number 2 in the league.
When they went 10-6?
I believe so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know he was terrible in Buffalo, though.
Yeah.
We also got a new O-line coach.
Yeah, guy from the Titans. A lot of the people from the Titans liked him. I saw Taylor Lewan on Bussin' with the Boys.
I saw that.
They really like him. But, I mean, I don't know. He got fired for a reason. That's why I don't understand this. People get fired. Like Nathaniel Hackett was a terrible head coach. He was also calling plays in Denver. It did not work out. He gets fired, immediately gets a job.
Yep.
The Titans O-line coach, clearly not doing his job right, immediately gets a new O-line job. I don't understand that.
I mean,
Mr.
Andy Reid got
Jacks.
fired at one point.
Yeah, but that was like a whole different situation though, because he
Yeah, it
wasn't
was.
like bad at his job.
Yeah.
There was just a lot going on there. And I mean, Frank Reich kind of, but that's another thing where just everything was not going their way. They did not have talent. They can't get a quarterback. Frank Reich has been good. He's been good as an offensive coordinator. We still don't know if he's going to be a good head coach.
Yeah, we'll
but
see.
True.
yeah, stuff like that. It just doesn't make much sense to me.
I think Hackett got hired because the connection that Salah has with LaFleur in Green Bay. I think that could be a reason.
Yeah, Salah, I know Hackett were
Yeah.
together in Jacksonville. So
I feel like the only way that this is actually good for the Jets is if they land Rodgers, and that's possible. And I mean, it could be good because obviously he has that connection with Rodgers. Zach Wilson has looked up to Rodgers forever, so maybe there's a little bit of connection there.
Yeah.
Could help
I
his.
see Rodgers coming to New York.
Why not? It's a huge market for him.
I know,
Yes,
but
he likes his attention.
Yeah.
And think about it. What was the last Green Bay quarterback that came to the Jets? Brett Favre. He might just follow in his shoes.
Yeah, and then retire.
Yeah, true.
And
Well,
then go to another team.
I mean, Brett Favre did good on the Jets until he got injured.
Till his arm
then
fell off.
retired.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's
I don't
also weird with that situation. I don't even know if he's going to get traded at all because like every single year for the past couple of years, it's like, am I coming back? Am I not coming back? Are the Jets or any team for that matter going to be willing to give 2 first-round picks, a second, whatever it's going to take if they think that he's only going to be there for 1 year? I feel like there need to be like, clearly he's under contract still, but he could just be done with football after a year and we don't know.
He's 39 years old. So
Yeah, he's old. He is old. And I mean, he's voiced how he could walk away from the game right now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I literally don't know what's going to happen.
He
I don't
did
know if I
say
would
it.
want him.
Yeah,
that was
I mean,
my team.
Because you might be getting 1 year out of him. And I feel like
And
the
then
Jets
what
could
it's
definitely
like-
compete for a Super Bowl, but they still need more work.
all right,
And
This is a good
who
time
knows
to
if
get
the
a
whole
quarterback.
offensive coordinator situation, if that doesn't work out, then I
The
mean,
Jets are going to be real close if they do get Rodgers, though. That
Yeah, with
O-line is going to get
Rodgers.
healthy. We're going to draft an O-lineman or sign one. I mean,
Makai
safety
back
help we need. Hopefully he's gone. He's well, no, he's losing weight.
yeah, we've been hearing that every single
losing
year.
weight, but the guy snaps his leg every year.
That's true.
Or
Very-
something.
I feel like
happens.
every offseason though, it's just like, oh, Mekhi Becton in the best shape of his life. He's gonna come out
Yeah.
and he's gonna be the best left tackle in the league.
Yeah.
And then
he
he's
wore
just
that shirt like I don't
with
care
all
about
the
the
things.
Yeah,
All of them
whatever.
are right though. All of them are right. You're
Pretty much.
terrible. You're fat. All of them are right.
I'm hoping that he lost a lot of weight. His knees are, straightened up. And
I wish the Jets drafted worse.
yeah, agreed. That's what I said right away. Steve, when I was with you when they drafted Becton, I lost my mind. Like, you kidding me?
It's true.
Whatever.
When they drafted him, I saw his big dad. It's like, is that who the Jets got?
His father.
Father's huge.
I've never seen him. I mean, if he produced that, then
yeah.
I'm assuming that his father would be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, no, the Jets, if they get Rodgers, that could be a Super Bowl team if they click. They really could be.
I also don't we're gonna have to get rid of 2 first rounds for him. And I don't really want that because Joe Douglas has been really last draft he nailed it.
And the
So,
draft before that, he was terrible.
That's true, but yeah, he got Elijah Vera Tucker, which was good, but
Yeah, the rest of that class was garbage.
so
That's
I
just
don't
my
know.
opinion.
It's also though if you could trade a couple firsts or whatever picks and get a proven great quarterback, then yeah, why not?
If you can pull a Rams and trade your picks and potentially set yourself up for a Super Bowl,
F them
I'm in.
picks.
Exactly. So
Even if the Rams' future is kind of screwed right now, but they got a ring. That's all that matters.
I'll take a ring and then be
But
terrible
I
for the
think
next
if
20 years.
we get rid of 2 first rounds, our future won't be bad. Those next 2 years will probably be bad, but
I don't know.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I still rather Carr.
I think Carr is the most likely option.
Yeah.
For the Jets, but
I
who
think
knows?
he's the
We'll
best
see.
option.
It might be.
I don't want that bum Lamar either.
Excuse me.
What?
I don't want Lamar
Good bum.
Jackson on my team.
Tell me right now, Lamar Jackson's available. You don't want the Jets to sign him.
No.
I agree.
I just don't like how he is. He's mysterious, with this whole injury thing. His mom's his agent.
That is true.
No, he cannot have his mom as his agent in New York. It's not gonna work out. It's not. This guy's gonna get paid so much money for what? We got, we're gonna have to sign young guys soon. We're not gonna have the money. There's no point of having Lamar Jackson. He's gonna want a many-year contract. Then we're gonna be stuck with him. No.
But you're saying that as if he's not an elite level quarterback.
Yeah, he's
He
very,
is
very
elite,
good.
but I don't think he's right for New York. I don't.
Okay.
The only reason I don't want him is he's getting older and he's already injured. The older you get, the more injured you're going to get. And I feel like his knees are going to go over something. He's a quarterback. They never last. So you're going to give that much money to the guy that's always going to be hurt. And then we're going to have to go back to Zach Wilson as our QB2. Yeah. Derek Carr.
Okay. Their card is. All right. So going over the games from last weekend, starting off with the first game, the Jags and the Chiefs. It's kind of how I expected it to go.
Anything is possible, baby.
Oh yeah. That was very scary though when Mahomes first got injured.
Yeah, I thought it was much worse. I thought it was his knee at first, honestly.
Yeah, because it looked like his knee kind of buckled a little bit.
Yeah.
Looked
was
like
definitely
everything was
scary.
just messed up.
It's still a bad
Mhm.
injury, but it definitely could have been worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, he's fine now. So
So we think.
I swear he got some wild treatment in a different country.
He might have.
I
He might have just
swear,
got
man.
abducted by aliens, and they were just like, "Oh, you're one of us. Let's shoot you up with some nice alien juice, and your ankle will be fine." But that one drive in the beginning, I don't know if it was the first drive, but when he had the jump pass and everything,
Yeah.
he was just making just ridiculous plays on that
Yeah,
that drive
that whole drive.
specifically.
Yeah.
But I mean, the rest of the game too. Mahomes is just he's so good.
He
He's
made
just so
another
good.
jump pass when he was hurt.
Yeah.
I like that pass when he threw it to the dirt. It's like, what a play by Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, didn't they actually say that? Like,
No,
what
he
a play.
actually did say that. He was
That's
saying
wild.
Really?
The dude,
I
it
think it's
slipped
like-
out of his hand.
No, it's
and he's-
because he was like, I mean, he was right of what he said, but like, you didn't have to say it. Like, what a play! Like he was gonna throw, but it would have got picked off because there was like a safety like lurking.
Yeah.
So then
So
he was
it's
like
just
gonna
like-
he like pump faked and it slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, I don't know. That was
That was
a
funny,
little
though.
weird. But yeah, Jags, they had a chance, but they let Chad Henne go 98 yards down the field and score on them. And Jamal Agnew at the end just fumbles in literally the worst. That they could have won that game if they scored on that drive very easily, but then Jamal Agnew just
They could have, but I don't know if they would have still.
I don't think they would have, but they would have been in a good spot.
Because at
Yeah,
that
for
point, the
sure.
Chiefs were just like chewing the clock. If they scored, the Chiefs probably would have went down and scored.
Yeah, that is true.
But who knows? You don't know.
Yeah.
If he scored there, though, it definitely would have gave them like a good chance of winning that game.
Terrible spot to fumble.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Hey, Trevor Lawrence, is Jacksonville louder than Arrowhead?
That was wild that he said that. And it
It was
definitely
loud there.
Oh yeah, I bet. I mean, obviously not the biggest fan of the Chiefs, but just seeing that atmosphere is probably just so awesome to be in person. That's some place that I'd like to go. I've been to Buffalo. It's a great place, very loud. And I'm sure Arrowhead is very similar in that aspect. And then getting into the Giants and Eagles game, this was just a beatdown.
Yeah.
Just terrible. It was a nice story, Giants. You guys did great. You made the playoffs. You weren't supposed to. Rookie head coach, Daniel Jones, playing great.
He beat primetime Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. It was over before it started. There was just
That was
4
brutal.
quarters of just absolute beatdown.
Yep.
Well, now they gotta ask themselves, is Daniel Jones a guy? After
They
that beatdown, I don't know now.
They have an interesting offseason up ahead of them with mainly Saquon and Daniel Jones. Let's see what they're gonna do
Saquon
with that.
wants $16 million a year.
He does.
What is that?
That's a lot of
Like,
money.
one healthy season of the last 3. Like, calm down. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I mean, I understand it. Like, talent-wise, he definitely deserves it. But, I mean, he is injury prone.
Yep. Big time.
So, but if he gets to free agency, I don't think he's going to get that contract. Especially recently, the free agent running backs have not gotten crazy contracts. The biggest contracts we've seen from running backs is just teams like re-signing their guys. Like McCaffrey, he signed that extension before he hit free agency. When you hit free agency, not that many teams are going to pay a running back $16 million.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And I'm assuming they're going to bring Daniel Jones back, but
I don't know why.
and I think he played well enough to get an extension. But if it's like a 5 or 6 year extension, I don't like it. If it's like 2 or 3 years, okay.
Yeah, I'd tell him 2 years.
Yeah.
That's about
'Cause-
it.
Because he's still got to improve. Like he's a solid quarterback. He makes plays, but he's still not great.
I think he played well enough just to fool everyone, and then he's going to get an extension and suck like he's always been. So
It's also like Brian Dable comes in. This guy has the best season of his career by far. Is it just a product of Dable?
yeah, could be.
If he looked well in that offense, could they bring in? Who knows? Could they bring in Derek Carr maybe, and he's going to have an MVP year?
Could be.
I don't know.
I think
they're
Dable
going
is
to.
just that great. Honestly, he changed Josh Allen into a stud, and now Daniel Jones didn't look too bad. So
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I'm assuming they're going to try to bring back both of them, but who knows?
but they have a lot more guys to sign. No,
I'm not sure.
who knows?
Well, they're gonna probably eat Kenny Galladay's contract.
Yeah, that's
That guy's terrible.
well. Getting back to the game,
Sure.
the Eagles were just firing on all cylinders,
Yeah.
as they have been for most of the season. Jalen Hurts, his arm looks healthy, and that team just looks nearly unstoppable on both sides of the ball.
Yep. Unfortunately.
Boston Scott owns the Giants.
He does. Oh my God, what was that? Like his touchdown stats? It's
He
like
There's
Great.
like 11 touchdowns in 9 games against the Giants, and then like
Mhm.
it's like
That's wild.
7 in the rest.
No,
Yeah.
he's like 8 in the last 8 games. He's like a touchdown every game.
that's
Really?
just that's insane. That is absolutely wild. But I knew there was definitely something like he had X amount against the Giants and then like one less against every other team.
I swear they do it on purpose. They just like put him in to score.
Yeah, that's like the Ravens in the preseason. They play all their starters so they could keep their preseason record alive, which is very dumb.
Yep. They're going to regret that one day.
Yeah. I mean, that's where Dobbins got hurt. It could happen to Lamar.
Yeah.
Well, it can't because he's going to be on the Jets. And going into the worst game I've ever seen in my life, Bengals-Bills.
There you go.
So this was just a coaching mismatch, pretty much. Just from the beginning, I mean, it's a very bad surface, and Leslie Frazier decides to just soft zone. All right, that's fine. Do it for the first drive. They get absolutely dotted up the first drive. Offense comes out, 3 and out. Second drive, maybe be like, all right, let's test something new. All right, you know what? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's keep our soft zone for the first couple plays. Dotted. Wouldn't you think to like switch it up a little bit? They literally gave them 14 free points. There was no coming back from that. Especially they can't run the ball at that point. They can't run the ball regardless. But even if they wanted to, they couldn't. They're already down 14 points. I feel like they just did not have a game plan, like at all. And the Bengals had the absolutely perfect game plan. They did not get any pressure on Burrow the whole entire game. I think he got sacked once, and it was just because there was like good coverage downfield. And then Josh Allen was running for his life. I'm pretty sure it was like almost 50% of his dropbacks, he was pressured. But I mean, you'd think that the Bengals O-line missing 3 starters would be the offensive line that's getting embarrassed. Oh no. They looked like all-stars. Jackson Carman's first start ever looked like a franchise left tackle.
Yeah, it was rough for the Bills for sure.
Frustrating.
Yeah, I bet.
With that being said, though, there are a lot of people overreacting about the Bills situation right now. They don't need to clean house. Their Super Bowl window isn't closed. They do need to do a couple things differently. They need to get some better alignment, I think, specifically the guard position.
They need to get a running back.
James Cook is very, very good. I love James Cook. I don't know if he's a feature back, and I'm not willing to find out. Let's sign Kareem Hunt. Let's sign, I don't know, somebody. He's definitely a good number 2. Not Devin Singletary, though. Anybody but Devin Singletary. I love Devin Singletary, but we need new personnel.
Yeah, get Odell.
And then Odell would have helped because Gabe Davis has bricks for hands.
He's so bad.
That 3rd and 2 play. You have been saying this for a while. I was always like, I think Gabe is going to be a good number 2. I've always seen that he had problems separating, though. And he's had drops in the past. A lot of people overrated him coming into this year.
He's just like a good like wide receiver 3, like deep threat.
Oh yeah, he's a perfect number 3. You bring him in occasionally, he beats a guy downfield, and he's a great deep threat. But if you're expecting somebody on the outside, like, I mean, obviously he's not on Diggs level, but a Diggs guy, he's getting open pretty much every play. You could get that guy the ball just because he's probably always open, just because he's a great route runner. He could get separation. He has very consistent hands. Gabe is none of those things at all.
But he's big game Gabe.
He does have big games. He shows up big time in some games.
Yeah, he was just getting overrated after like the game against the Chiefs in the playoffs last year.
And I mean, at the same time, I also almost don't blame some people because that game was just insane.
Yeah, but he was like just torching like Mike Hughes, like
And I swear that one route where he sat Mike Hughes down, he literally just went like this.
Yeah, he literally ran to the outside, would put his head to the outside, and then just ran.
Yeah,
like
it wasn't even a good route. He's never been a good route runner.
No, I said he was overrated from the get-go. That's it.
Yes,
when it was proved this season. I don't think he's a number 3 on some teams.
Yeah, he's definitely a Josh Allen product.
Yes, 100%.
If you put maybe like Corey Davis in that situation, he might do the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, last game of the week, Cowboys-Niners. Take it away, Tyler.
All right, so, I'm a Jets fan, and everyone says same old Jets. But I think it's time to say same old Cowboys. We the boys, it's our year. It's never your year. It's never your year. Never, ever.
You're right.
Dak is 0-3 in the divisional round. So is Tony Romo. Congrats, you won a wild card. Congrats. But you guys still suck. And I don't know what you guys did the last play of the game. I after that play, I got up and I started dying laughing. And I don't even laugh at the Jets.
Well said, Tyler. Well said.
I agree.
Is Zeke playing center?
That was so funny. He just snaps the ball, gets absolutely demolished. It was hilarious.
Gosh.
And then, give it straight to Cavante Turpin, who also just gets demolished.
Yeah,
That was the worst play I've ever seen in my life.
Just thrown like 10 feet above his head.
Yeah, it was
Now, what was Turpin doing on that kickoff return?
oh my God, so
Why did he
bad.
run into the kicker? He had 2 lanes and he just
Touchdown,
goes,
touchdown, get tackled. Okay, I'm gonna go straight.
yeah.
A lot of guys do that. I don't know why.
That actually, like, if he would have ran to the outside and got the touchdown, they probably would have won the game.
Yeah, no, I feel like they definitely would have.
And if he didn't score, he would have still got like 20 more yards.
Yeah.
No, I think the kicker, Robbie Gold, was like falling down anyway.
Yeah, he was getting blocked
Yeah.
and falling down, and he ran into him still.
That
It was
was
absolutely unbelievable.
Maybe he should just go back to the USFL.
He was the MVP.
Yeah.
But regarding the Niners, though, they're just really good. I mean, there's nothing more to say to it. They just have a bunch of weapons that are just insane.
I mean, they got an all-pro defensive lineman, all-pro linebacker, and all-pro safety.
Yeah, they just have weapons all around. Offense, defense. They're coached well.
I feel like the 49ers had a bad game too.
Yeah, they did not
did.
play.
No.
They did not play great.
The Cowboys threw that game away. Dak throwing those
Yeah.
picks that just threw the game away.
And they were pretty bad too. Especially that one, I think it was Jimmy Ward. He was just standing there. He just didn't see the guy that was directly next to his receiver. It was pretty bad.
Oh man.
Everybody's been crying about Josh Allen's interceptions. Dak has been absolutely terrible with his picks.
Oh, through the game.
Yeah,
I mean,
literally.
the thing that Brock Purdy did better than Dak Prescott was manage the ball better.
I mean, that's all they need him to do.
Yeah.
And also losing Tony Pollard pretty early definitely hurt them a lot because Zeke is fat and terrible.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to see what they do with him or just what happens with Tony Pollard in general. Because
Pollard's so much better than him at this point.
Yep.
it's not even close.
Like people would say it kind of like as a joke at first, but it's like
yeah,
actually serious.
no, now it's real. He's gonna if he doesn't re-sign with the Cowboys, he's gonna go get a good contract somewhere, and he could.
I think
He's
gonna
had
get
over 1,000 yards. He's gonna be a number one somewhere.
Yeah.
I'd like him on the Bills. It's good.
That would be good.
Yeah, he's just so explosive.
Yeah.
And Zeke is not. Zeke is just a bad football player right now.
Yeah.
Like,
And they keep rolling with him. Why?
I don't know. Jerry Jones
Jerry
is
Jones
just
obsessed
very
with him.
stubborn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
It's just like, I guess for the Cowboys, they have this brand, and Zeke is part of that brand, so you can't really get rid of him. But
How about you have a brand of winning?
That'd
They
be
got rid of
nice.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that showed this year that was just a terrible move.
What did Gallup did nothing. Like when I know he was hurt, he comes back. What did he do?
Noah Brown too is just terrible.
Oh, he disappeared. He was like playing decent this year, and then he just completely disappeared.
Yeah,
Like,
it
who was
was
even-
very.
I didn't even see him or Gallup catch a ball last game. Like
I saw Noah Brown had like a drop, which is in true Noah Brown fashion.
if I'm CD Lamb, I'm getting ready to get out of there when I have to sign. I'm out.
Unless, I mean, he's probably gonna get a fat contract. from
Yeah, I
there,
don't
but
care. I don't want to be on that team.
Yeah, they're I don't know. They're confusing. It was stupid when it happened. They essentially chose like a little bit more cap space and Michael Gallup over Amari Cooper.
Yeah, you downgraded like a lot though on
A
the
lot.
player.
A lot. And it was
Gallup
very
was-
obvious that they needed another receiver this year.
Yeah, 'cause,
Gallup
like,
was supposed to be a lot better though.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that. Like he made those plays that year, and it was like, all right, this guy could fill that wide receiver 2 role, and he just didn't do it.
Yeah. But it was also like he was coming off a major injury. Are you really gonna put all of your eggs in one basket?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a very big swing and it did not go well for them.
So are they going to learn with this whole Pollard situation now?
No,
Big
it's actually a
injury.
very similar situation.
Exactly.
And no, they're probably just going to keep Zeke. Zeke said he's going to take a pay cut, though. Well, or that he's willing to, which means I'm going to take a pay cut. I feel like they're like not in a great spot right now because like Dak is good, but those interceptions this whole year.
He was
really-
25 and 17, I believe, for the year.
Yeah, which is really bad considering how many games did he play.
I don't even think I don't know. I mean, he's like a top 15 quarterback, but not top 10.
It's in because he's had good years though. But he's another one where like kind of like a Kirk Cousins, like he's good enough to get you there. Is he good enough to win you a playoff game? Couple maybe.
He also beats on bad teams.
Yeah. I mean that's why the Cowboys have been so weird. They lose to the Commanders week 18 and then they'll drop 50.
Yeah, I mean they beat the Vikings 40-3.
Yeah, they were just firing on all cylinders some weeks and looked unstoppable. Looked like the best defense, the best offense in the league, and then some weeks they just looked like a bad football team.
Yeah,
they're a little cursed.
Coaching, who knows?
Yeah, they're kind of cursed.
Yeah,
just like the Bills.
The Bills are definitely cursed,
100%.
Oh yeah, well that's because Joe Namath sold his soul and the Jets' hopes and dreams forever for a ring.
Pretty much. And hey, at least we have one.
Yeah, that's true. So getting into the MVPs of the week, my MVP is going to be Kenneth Gainwell. So like we said, Eagles were firing on all cylinders. Even backups were playing great. Kenneth Gainwell had 12 carries for 112 yards and a touchdown. He also had a catch for 9 yards. I mean, that's a backup running back putting up great numbers. And Miles Sanders had a pretty solid game too. So when you have a team like that, where even your backups are putting up great numbers, it's a team to watch out for.
Yeah. My MVP is Harrison Butker. He's been struggling the last few weeks, as we all know, missing extra points, not being able to hit anything. He had 2 field goals for 50 yards, made all 3 extra points, which is good. And he had a huge tackle on the special teams, saved a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a touchdown if he didn't make that tackle.
True.
Freaking Agnew selling the game.
My MVP is Chad Henne. I think because, he did well when he was thrown in there. He was thrown in the fire. And he led his team to a 98, touchdown drive as a 37-year-old. It's hard. And we all think, like Patrick Mahomes, he makes these beautiful plays. And then Chad Henne comes in and he gets the job done too. So.
QB controversy in Kansas City?
No shade to Mahomes. I'm just saying,
Chad Henne also did almost throw an interception, and he literally got bailed out. The Jaguar player
he
hit his
didn't,
teammate, and he dropped it.
To be fair,
that was so bad.
Drive, honestly.
And Pacheco had like a 40-yard run, so
that is true.
Yep.
I still love Henne, but I'm just saying.
My MVP is Joe Mixon. 20 attempts, 105 yards, touchdown, but he just kept running through that defense. Mixon really just helped that team win, in my opinion. And yeah.
He did have a good game. It was frustrating.
He really did. It was so annoying because, well, for you, it was annoying. For me, it was great. But, he just first down. It was great to watch.
Yeah. It's like they hit him like 2 yards after the line of scrimmage, and then he just keeps on chugging his feet for like 9 yards.
He had a good game.
Yeah.
Stat-wise, he's not the greatest. Yeah, he had 105 yards and a touchdown, but the way he ran and how involved he was, he helped out a lot.
Yeah, it was just because they were selling those AFC Championship tickets.
That's it.
Not like they're selling tickets for literally every other possible game. It was that specific one. Disrespectful.
Exactly.
Now getting into the championship games, AFC Championship, you got the Chiefs and the Bengals. So me and James riding with the Chiefs. I'm a honorary Chiefs fan for this week because I hate Eli Apple.
I agree there.
Villain. Holy smokes, he's a villain.
He's a terrible person. I hate him. He does nothing for his team except, give up touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
I didn't know what I saw some stuff he said, but today I was listening to the Kyle Burns Basement and he talked about him. And then all the stuff he said is like, dude, what are you saying? You're kind of an asshole.
He is. No, he 100% is. He was. The main thing that got me was the Cancun on 3 thing. Yeah, there's like a Patrick Beverly thing where it's like Cancun on 3, but he did that. He did the hand heart emoji. Obviously,
he because Shaq Lawson said something keep.
Oh yeah, he said keep it on the field.
DeMar, and then Eli Apple was like, oh yeah, you should have had that energy for the game. Maybe it would have had a different outcome.
I hate that guy. So yeah, that is the reason why I'm a Chiefs fan this week. But yeah, we got the Chiefs. Tyler, you got the Bengals. Rocco, what's your pick?
I'm going, I want the Chiefs to win I like both teams, but I want the Chiefs, and I think Chiefs will going to get it this time. I don't see how the Bengals could go 4 straight. I don't see it.
Yeah,
Burrow is not daddy. Like, it's not happening. So
it's going to be really, really bad if the Bengals do win.
yeah.
Like, there's going to be a conversation for years about that.
Yep.
But I don't know. Andy Reid is a genius. I expect him to have a very good game plan.
Yeah.
And it also depends on Mahomes' ankle, which I think he's fine somehow. Nobody recovers from an ankle sprain in a day, but
I don't know.
He's just walking and jogging. Like, game speed's completely different. Like, cutting.
I'm sure it's gonna affect him. It's just a matter of how much.
Yeah, I think. I mean, they're gonna have a game plan, like you said, Andy Reid. Like, he knows, like, obviously how the ankle really is. They're gonna have a whole different, like, they're gonna be running all different plays they probably never ran.
Yeah. And both teams know each other very, very well. So I'm expecting both teams to have a very good game plan.
I'm not really worried about the offense. I'm more worried about the defense. They're going to have to pressure Burrow. It's obviously I don't know if those offensive linemen are playing that are out. I don't even know if I'd rather them play or not.
Yeah, the backups were just as good.
Yeah. I think the Chiefs need to establish the run game and just don't abandon it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch.
I could see it definitely going either way, though. I'm just definitely rooting for the Chiefs.
I just also think, like, the Bengals defense, they were able to get to Josh Allen, like, so many times, sacked him 8 times. Like, I think they're just going to have a game plan to get them Mahomes. Like, and I don't think they're going to do anything dirty, like go after his ankle, but, like.
They probably would do that.
They got to play
Hendrickson did that last game.
If you're going to hit a guy, you're going to have to hit him,
Yeah, Chiefs O-line will be ready.
And Bengals know that Patrick Mahomes is playing. They're not worried about Chad Henne playing. They know Mahomes is playing, so.
Yeah. For the Bills and Bengals, like, the Bengals outcoached the Bills. I just can't see Andy Reid getting outcoached. So I think that's what it comes down to.
I can see them being outplayed.
I could definitely see it.
Boyd. I don't know.
Yeah. It's going to be a great game, and it could definitely go either way.
Every game they lost by 3, so it's not like they're getting, like, blown out.
Yeah, it's close to either every time. It's just a matter of which way it swings.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Should be a good game.
Chiefs.
Then getting into the NFC Championship, we got the Eagles and the Niners. So, Rocco, what do you have?
I think the Eagles are going to win, but I absolutely hate them and their fan base. So
yeah, let's all go. We're all going against Rupp. Woo!
Yeah, Rupp has the Niners on this.
Really? I hope he's right. I really.
He's a hype beast. What do you expect?
No, yeah, he just sucks Jimmy G off.
Bro, he's a hype beast. His favorite players outside of his team is Justin Jefferson and Joe Burrow. Like,
jeez.
Yeah. So it's not surprising.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the Brock Purdy thing is going to come to an end.
Yeah.
This is the defense that is going to.
I think Eagles smoke them.
Yeah.
I could definitely see it.
He hasn't played on the East Coast, I don't think yet. I know he played in Seattle and it was loud, but I just think Philly's going to be a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I don't think I don't know how he's going to do against the East Coast. I don't. He's used to playing in San Francisco the whole playoffs, so I don't know. I think, and Philly just has a great defense. I know Cowboys had a great defense, but Philly's even better, and I think they're just going to – it doesn't matter. You can tire out half their team. They got guys coming right in there. They're going to come after you.
So, yeah, like we said before, when the Eagles are firing on all cylinders, they are unstoppable. They have weapons on top of weapons. And granted, so do the Niners, but I feel like it was much earlier in the year, but like the Chiefs game, we've seen games where they don't play well. Even recently, they almost lost a game to, what was it, the Raiders?
Yeah.
It's like week 16 or something. We've seen them have like close games. And obviously, we've seen the Eagles lose to like the Commanders and everything, but different story. Recently, when the Eagles are firing all cylinders, they are just insane. So, I don't know. It could definitely go either way because both teams are just absolutely loaded.
Yeah, there's playmakers, but I still think the Eagles, they're going to win.
Yeah.
But I mean, the only 49ers, they got like McCaffrey and Debo who could just, you dump them the ball and they could run 60 yards. That's like really what you're going to need.
Yeah. But also a big part of that is Debo was limited today. McCaffrey hasn't practiced. Elijah Mitchell hasn't practiced. They said they're going to play, and they probably will, but like how banged up are they?
And also, like, Brock Purdy's been throwing a wide open people. I don't know if he's going to get it that much this game with this defense.
It's true. If it comes down to Brock Purdy or Jalen Hurts, which it very well could, I'm taking Jalen Hurts pretty easily.
Yep. The spread's only 2.5 too, which is crazy, but
yeah,
I agree with you, James. I think Eagles are going to win by a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think San Fran's going to be able to keep up, but I hope not.
Yeah, we'll see. Both of these matchups are great, and we said this a couple times that no matter what the Super Bowl matchup is, it's going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be a good Super Bowl.
Yeah. Either way, like there's great offenses. We got some really good defenses too. But I mean, they're just good matchups. Like Bengals could play the Niners or the Eagles. It would be a great game. Obviously, the Chiefs already roughed up the Niners early in the year, but they're a different team now. Yeah. They play the Eagles. That could be a shootout. I mean, either way, I think it's going to be a good Super Bowl.
Great week of football. Like if you look at it, like if you had to pick a team to win to save your life,
I don't think there's one that you could confidently say this team is 100% winning.
Yeah, any team can win.
Yep.
Like LaDainian Tomlinson said, any man can be beat on any day.
It's true. So yeah, excited for these matchups. All right, and going over the records from last week, Rupp not here, but he ended up winning the week. He went 4 for 4. Me and Tyler went 3 for 4. James went 2 for 2. He had the Cowboys. We don't know why he had the Cowboys. Do you know why he had the Cowboys?
Bro, they should have won the game. Like Dak threw the 2 picks.
Exactly. You should have known that was going to happen. Adding that to the yearly records, we have Tyler dead last by a lot. He's at 152 and 111. Yeah. And then we got James. He is in third place right now at 165 and 98. Rupp is at 166 and 97 in second place. I've already locked up the one. I'm at 171 and 92. Wow. So, I mean,
you know who didn't lock up the 1 seed? The Bills.
Me and Rupp have opposites this week, though, so I could jump in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or he could just
he'd beat me.
Make the lead even wider.
I'm winning in playoffs now.
Yeah, if we were to do just the playoffs by themselves, you are winning by 1 point. So, good job. Winning what it matters. Too bad that you didn't get there because you were in dead last. So that concludes this week's episode. Hope you all enjoyed. Till next time.
Go Chiefs.